collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Fadoran from Ultraman Blazar. This does come with the Fadoran stone, so he can transform with his power-up and get the cool flame armor. And then this has kind of a dragon mode, but then it also transforms into an accessory for the Chalcedonite sword. And we'll take a look at all of that. And that is shown here on the top of the packaging. And then he gets the cool armor. Then use the stone in the Blazar brace. Of course, we'll see all that as well. Batteries are included. You get two LR44 watch batteries, so you do not have to provide your own batteries, which is always nice. Over here, again, just showing the sword, the dragon, getting your new kind of powered-up lance form, and then just the dragon over here hanging out. On the back, just more of the same, really, just showing you the exact same thing, and we'll check it all out. So I'm going to go ahead, get everything out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's everything you get in the box. You have the DX Fadoran. We have the Fadoran stone, which is kind of neat. You can see the dragon on there. I think that looks pretty cool. Done in red plastic. Nice gold holofoil there. Taking a look at the back here. This is B004. Here's the rail pattern. We'll come back to this more a little bit later on. But for now, let's take a look at the dragon itself. So it comes packed in the, like, accessory mode, add-on mode, whatever you want to call this. This is how you'll transform it when you're connecting it to the Chalcedonite sword. But first, let's take a look at the dragon form. So very simple to transform. And also, here's the battery compartment. You pull the little tab out of here to turn it on. If you would ever need to replace the watch batteries, you just depress that little button right there. This will slide off, and then you can go ahead and pop them out. So, but yeah, basically all you have to do, take this section, pop that down to form the tail and his little feet, and then you'll come to the wings and you'll just split them apart and flip them out to the side, and then just kind of angle the head down like that. I think he looks pretty cool though. I mean, it's a very basic transformation, but he's a cool little dragon dude. Let me get in a little bit closer here. So really nicely painted. I mean, you have all this really nice metallic blue paint here, which I think looks really sharp. The dragon head, I think, looks pretty good. The top of it is done in this translucent plastic, and then you have some more metallic blue paint there. The mouth can even open. It's a little difficult to get it to do so, but I promise that it does. There we go. So this is all done in the translucent plastic, and then the lower jaw is painted gold. But a nice little feature there. The head can move up and down pretty decently. I guess technically you could flap the wings if you just wanted to bring these in and out, because that's how it transforms. But this thing really doesn't have articulation. It's not a full-on action figure. It's just that it can turn into a dragon. But the one mode it does have, you can see the speaker kind of integrated into the chest design pattern, which I think is kind of nice because it kind of gets lost in there. You have a little button here on the back, so we can go ahead and pop that down. And he just makes a random host of screeching sounds. Now, I think if you hold this down, you're supposed to get even more. But honestly, after a while, they all sound exactly the same to me. Yeah, it's really just like how different is the length of the screech, but he's a cool little dragon. Like I said, I like the integration of the translucent plastic where it makes sense. I really like the metallic blue paint. You know, you have the tail back here. I mean, for being kind of a basic action figure that also transforms into a weapon accessory, I think they did a pretty good job. Now, I would not be surprised if maybe they did another version of him later on in like the Ultra action figure line, or maybe something similar to what they did with Earth Garen, just so that way you could have a fully articulated, you know, wingspan and everything like that. That would be kind of cool. Might not happen, might happen, we don't know. but this is kind of neat. Pretty fun little dragon just for display. But let's go ahead and get him transformed so he can combine with the Chalcedonite sword. So we'll flip the head back up, close the wings, and they'll kind of lightly tab together. There's definitely a softer plastic here, so nothing really hardcore tabs in. And then you just flip this up, and then we are ready to go. So we have the Chalcedonite sword here, and the one thing that I thought was interesting, when I did review this, I wasn't sure if the sounds, when they're combined, were going to come out of this or this. They actually do come out of the sword, so I kind of think that's why the play on its own is a little limited, because it also has to store sounds for when it's combined with the Fadoran. So that makes a little bit more sense, and I'm a little bit more forgiving given that fact. Technically, when this is combined, you can kind of pull this a little bit back and still access this button, but it's just going to give you the same screech sounds from before, so it's nothing very exciting. Now you can see there's kind of a little channel there, and there's kind of a piece of plastic on the inside here, which I don't know. There you go. You can see it right there. So you kind of just want to line that up so that's in the channel, and then just slide it on. So you can see the sword reacts immediately when they're connected and starts making cool sounds. And I believe these sounds are different now that it's connected. So you have those two sounds, and then just like when it wasn't connected, we're going to have attack sounds at 1, 3, and 5. That one's kind of cool. I like how it kind of like builds and then eventually does the full attack. I thought that was kind of cool. So there you go. That is pretty much it for sounds when they are attached, but it's definitely doubles the functionality of the sword. So if you're planning on getting the sword, I would say definitely get this as well. I think they even sell them as a set. So if you haven't gotten either of them yet, you could just get the set. And I kind of wouldn't get the sword unless you're getting this, because on its own, the sword is a little bland. But combined, they're actually kind of neat, and again, doubles the functionality of the sword. Plus, it adds to the length of the weapon, which makes it a little bit more impressive. And I think this is actually kind of cool. I feel like it connects very securely. It looks cool. I think it matches the aesthetic with the curves and everything. So I think it's pretty neat. I like this thing connected to this. If you want to disconnect it, I would probably recommend turning this off first. And then I would go ahead. There are two buttons here on the side. You can kind of see it there. And there's also a release down here, right here. So you have to push that in and push these down, and then it will slide right off. No problem whatsoever. And then last, but, well, yeah, maybe least, we're going to go ahead and put this into the Blazar brace. All right, so the transformation screens are actually kind of cool. It's kind of like, I can't tell if it's supposed to be the head of a dragon or like a flame coming up, or maybe the flame coming up and then turning into the head of a dragon, and then eventually you see like the wings flapping, and then there's jaws. It's kind of a cool transformation screen. I will give it that. After that, though, it gets significantly more bland. And that's it. Just going to cycle back around. So that's kind of a bummer. But I will say the transformation screen is actually pretty cool. But then the sound effects after that are kind of bland in my opinion. But it's a cool looking stone. And I really did like the transformation screens with all the dragon effects and everything like that. So it gets points for that. But I don't know. This whole toy just in general to me has never been super exciting. The motor is so loud to get those LEDs to pop up. And some of the LEDs are kind of neat, but most of the sounds and phrases are just kind of lackluster. So that's going to do it for this one. Not a ton of functionality, but what it does I think is actually kind of neat. I like the dragon form. I like it connected to the Chilsonite sword. I think the sound effects from the Chilsonite sword are a lot cooler when it's connected than when it's on its own. And also, since all of the sounds come out of the Chilsonite sword, it makes a little bit more sense as to why it was so limited on its own, because it had to store the sounds for when it's connected. So I would say if you're not going to buy this, then don't buy the Chilsonite sword, and vice versa. Basically, either get the set of them together or don't get either of them. I think that they really need each other to bring out their full potential, and neither one is that much fun on its own. Now, if you just want a cool little dragon guy that makes some random screeching sounds, and the metal does kind of have a cool transformation screen in the Blazar brace, I could maybe see picking this one up on its own. But I would say if you're going to grab this one, you might as well even wait for a sale and then grab the sword, because they're kind of cool connected together. Otherwise, I guess just play with this guy as a dragon and use the metal, or the stone, I'm sorry, not the metal, the stone in the Blazar brace. But yeah, the screeching dragon sounds, I mean, they all just kind of blend together for me. I know it says it makes like 3 or 6 different screeching sounds, but I mean, after a minute, it's like they're all, you might as well just be one sound because they all sound the same. The attacks when it's connected to the sword, I think, are pretty cool. I talked about the stone already in the brace. So, I mean, there's some cool stuff, but it's just, I don't know. When it comes to Ultraman stuff, I feel like they either do character phrases or just generic sounds. I can't tell if it's an Ultraman or a kaiju. You know, it's some kind of screeching sound or a beam sound. And it's just kind of bland. It all kind of blends together for me. And it's kind of a shame because I like Ultraman. I love the concept of Ultraman. I love what Tsuburaya is doing, bringing it to the West. I love everything about that. I just wish I was a little bit more excited by these toys. They're fine. There's nothing super wrong with them. They're just not, oh my god, this is so fun. This is so amazing. You're going to want to check this out and transform it back and forth and play with it all day long. They just don't grab me like that. Maybe I'm in the minority. That's possible. But I think they're perfectly fine. I just wish they were more exciting to me personally. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you guys. Am I too hard on it? Do you guys love Blazar this year? Let me know. I'm very interested to hear from you because, like I said, I want to be more excited about it, and I'm just not. And then I start to feel bad, like maybe I'm being too hard on it. So I kind of want to get a consensus from you guys. So please let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.